Welcome to REA Radio. Enjoy the vibes.
This is REA Radio, the show for creators by creators. My name is Erick, and we took a little bit of a hiatus, but we are back. I'm joined today by my brother HD, and we got a special guest with us online, I guess I should say, from Indiana. Literally just heard about you maybe a month or so ago. You literally put out a project at the beginning of the year, literally New Year's Day. Dray Taylor, how you doing, sir?
Man, I'm straight, man. Hey, I just said it, but I thank y'all for having me on the show, man. I really do appreciate this.
We appreciate you. You're a rapper, producer, engineer. You a bag of all traits, huh?
Man, I do it all, man. I do it all. It's kind of funny, you know what I'm saying? I wish the story was a little bit more woke, but the reason why I do everything is because, like, you know, wouldn't nobody work with me. So I had to figure everything out myself. So, yeah, we got studios and stuff out here, and we got producers, but they be kind of stingy, bro. So try to figure it out myself. Yeah.
Well, that's Indiana.
Crazy, right?
I know about that. Yeah, go to Gary, man, and they'll charge you up, you know, all that stuff just for something minor. And I'm like, nah, we good, man, we good. So yeah, I know. I've been there. I know what you're talking about.
Right, man. I'm saying the same thing. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You'll come with the prices like $500. Oh, all right. I'll figure that out myself. Oh, no. That's too much.
I understand, man. I understand. Yeah. That's why people take things upon themselves and just do what they got to do. So,
Facts, man. Straight up.
Hey, AC, you want to get it started?
Sure. What inspired you to pursue a career in the arts, or primarily as an artist?
Man, you know, I've had a fascination and a love for music my whole life. I like was originally like interested in music production. You know what I'm saying? Like I like, you know, my cousin, she used to play a lot of Tupac and stuff like that, and different hip hop. And I used to always like, I wouldn't necessarily like gravitate towards the words. I would gravitate towards the beat, and I would love how like the beats was made and stuff like that. And you know, and then trying to figure that out. You know, and so that's kind of what got me into like my interest, you know what I'm saying? But like what actually got me into making music was you know, I had a love for it, and the love was starting to grow when I was in high school. I was about 17 years old and stuff like that. And I really wanted to like learn how to make beats. I felt like I had a whole lot of free time. I wasn't playing basketball no more like that. So I had some free time. So I wanted to, you know, learn how to make beats. And my friend had a friend who, he was a jack of all trades for real. He was the first person I knew. He was like 18 years old. His name was TJ. He could rap, sing, produce, mix, master. He the one taught me all this, you know what I'm saying? And so I asked him, I was like, because my friend was asking me to go to the studio with him. And I was like, a studio? Like, we got to pay for it? He's like, no, it's at my man's house. I was like, does he know how to make beats? He was like, yeah, you know, I do all that. I was like, can he teach me? You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah. So that's what started my whole music journey and trying to do it myself. It started with me trying to learn how to make beats. And then I got into actually making my own songs. That's another story, but that's what got me started. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Erick?
So in your bio, you put you're a son of a preacher and a teacher. And when I saw that, I was just wondering, how was the household growing up in that type of environment?
Man, it was different, man. It was different. You know, my mama, like I said, my mama a teacher. She's a teacher, and she used her knowledge to go into daycare. So she owns daycares, you know what I'm saying, in the Elkhart and South Bend area. And then my dad is a pastor in South Bend. He's been a pastor in South Bend my whole life. And, you know, it's very, very interesting conversations, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my dad, like very heavily spiritually based, you know, my dad, you know what I'm saying? It don't take nothing for him to talk about Jesus. You know what I mean? Same with my mama, you know what I'm saying? It don't really take nothing for them to get to talking about Jesus. I didn't been to places where we didn't went to, you know, we didn't been visiting family out in, you know what I'm saying? Like in different states. Like I remember one time specifically, man, we went to visit some cousins out in Georgia, and, you know, I hear the conversation starting to get a little louder. And as a kid, I knew, I'm like, they probably in there talking about Jesus. And so we get in the car and I asked, like, you know what I'm saying? You know, what was y'all talking about? You know, it started to get a little loud and they're like, we was in there talking about Jesus. So I'm like, yeah, you know, so that was a lot of the conversation, you know, we had. And then we also had like, you know, other conversations too, because my parents also like was the people who introduced me to most of the folks that, you know, I followed the breadcrumbs and wanted to learn more about, like, you know, Martin King and you know, Rosa Parks, people like that. So we having conversations like that too. And then they also telling stories about, you know, when they was little and like the parallels of the things that, you know, people like Martin King went through, Rosa Parks went through, and they can relate it back to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, saying like, yeah, no, I know what they talking about with that, because like let's say, my mama, she just told me this story the other day. She said her family used to drive out to Iowa, you know, every year, stuff like that. They used to drive out to Iowa, and there was always this rest stop that whenever they had to stop there, they would hurry up, get whatever they needed to get, and go. And they never stopped to use the bathroom. And she said she kind of suppressed the memory as she got older, but she said the reason why they didn't stop to use the bathroom was because they weren't allowed to use the bathroom because they was all Black. And so like them the type of stories that they would like tell and everything like that. And so it was kind of shaping my worldview of you know, the past, the present, and into the future, man. So yeah, a whole lot of conversations, a whole lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So what was their reaction when you told them, like, yeah, I'm gonna get into this rapping stuff and I'm gonna be a rapper and producer and all that stuff? Well, how was that discussion?
Man, it wasn't really like a discussion. If you know me, man, I march and beat to my own drum, man. So I was already doing it, and I didn't ask no permission. I didn't even present it. It was just something I was doing. They knew I was going a lot, and they asked me one day, "What you be doing?" I was like, "I be going out to TJ house trying to learn how to make music," and they was like, "Okay," you know what I'm saying? But you know, they one day, like, I did show them a song I made a long time ago, and they was like, "Oh, this what you doing? Oh, this hard, this cold." So you know what I'm saying? Like it's always been support, you know what I'm saying? As far as that, you know, so it's always been a whole lot of support. And they just be kind of just periodically ask me like, "Hey man, what you doing?" And then I, you know, show them a song or a beat or something like that. Like, okay. That's kind of how it's always been. It wasn't no like sat down at the table and was like, "Hey y'all, so this is what I'm about to do." You know what I'm saying? And then we like, yeah. So yeah, it was pretty smooth transition just to answer the question in ABC. You know what I mean?
So what was the musical influences in your household? Was it strictly gospel, or was it some of everything, or what is it you got from?
Man, it was a lot, man. Like, yeah, a whole lot of gospel. You know what I'm saying? You know, the greats, you know, Kirk Franklin, them, that's getting played heavy. I be seeing the memes all the time on like Instagram and stuff. Like if you wake up on a Saturday at 9 and you hear Kirk Franklin coming out the speakers, you already know what time it is. So I got plenty of them experiences. But like, my dad is like, he's a record collector. He has a whole lot of records just around the house, down the basement, in his room, you know, and he also was the type of person to try to, you know, go find people who weren't necessarily the most popping. So like, you know, I'm listening to a lot of Slave. I'm listening to like, you know, funk bands and stuff like that. He trying to give me the history of what he was listening to, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. So I'm listening. We might be in the car. We might be in the car going to church or something like that. And we might be listening to Yolanda Adams. And then we listening to like Prince, Slave, and then maybe some reggae. My dad's a real big reggae fan too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we might be listening to Buju Banton and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like we might be listening to all that on the way to church. And then on the way back, it's just shuffle the deck again. You don't know what's coming out the speaker. So yeah. So it's a very broad range. Yeah.
Very broad range.
Straight up, man. No cap, for real. Like it's really like that, man. So yeah.
Nice. I mean, I guess that goes into my question basically. So when it came to producing, like I'm assuming the production would come from you listening to all the different sounds, so particularly of Black music. That's where your inspired came from when it comes to the production side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whole lot of that. And You know, I had, like I told you, my guy TJ, you know what I'm saying? I was going out to his house. He was a real big inspiration as far as on the production side, because like, you know, he kind of taught me the ropes, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, like, you know, because he also was like one of the people, because I was like, at the time when I started trying to learn how to produce, I was listening to a lot of like, you know what I'm saying, like East Coast rap and stuff like that. You know, like 50 Cent and them, and like stuff like that. And but he was the first person to really put me on to, like, you know, more down south artists like Future and all them. I remember when Future first was coming, he was on him like early. I'm talking, we listening to Future songs. He'll get on YouTube and play 20 Future songs, right? And they'll just be like, they'll have like 1,000 views, like, and he's like, yeah, man, there's this dude named Future that's pretty good, man. I heard about him because he from Arkansas. So he got a lot of family from down south, and they would be telling him about who's coming, and they was telling him about Future, and he was telling me about Future, and so I'm listening to that. I'm getting inspired, you know, like with some of those beats and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And it's kind of was like a little bit of a left turn for me, because like I told you, I was listening to like boom bap and stuff like that, and he listening to like, you know, he might say like 8 Ball, MJG, he might say Juicy J or somebody, and I'm like, bruh, you know what I mean? So yeah, so that was another big, he was a big influence on that, especially me on the production side, you know what I mean?
So Arkansas got the plug on who's next out south?
I guess so.
Who knew?
I guess so. Yeah, TJ was on it. You know what I'm saying? And whoever he was talking to, they was on it. So yeah.
Learn something new every day. That's dope. That's dope. Something to learn.
Yeah. Definitely.
AC.
So how are you uniquely different from other MCs?
Man, wow. You know, I ain't never thought about that, man. That's a good question. I just like to make art. You know what I'm saying? And this is how I express myself. I've always like gravitated more towards saying stuff, having a meaning. If I'm gonna make songs, I want it to mean something. You know what I mean? I wanted to feel like something. That's not like, I'm not taking shots to like people who may make music that, you know, might not be as where I'm at. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like, I don't know, man. I just really like, I would think that like what make me different is just like, because it's me and my perspective. Like I'm not, I don't have the same perspective as, you know, like I grew up in Elkhart, Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Like I know for a fact I live in one of them towns that's like, it's 2021, but you might mistake it for 1921. You know what I'm saying? With just some of the thought patterns and just some of the stuff that I got to do out here and how to move. I also grew up in the Black church from a unique perspective of being like, you know, a preacher's kid, and my mama being a teacher inside the church and out. And then I'm me, who I am, and stuff that I like. I'm interested in. I'm interested in history. I'm interested in like science and mathematics. I'm definitely interested in like, you know, Africa and you know, going to visit sometime and all of that. So like, I think what make me different than other MCs is just my perspective, just who I am, like me as a person. My personality is I feel like that shows up, you know, a lot in my songs. So I think that's what make me different, just who I am. You know what I mean? What make me different from the next person, because that's they side. That's the story they telling. You know what I mean? And then I'm telling a different story from my perspective. You know what I mean? So yeah.
You could definitely hear it in the music, particularly your new project. So when listening to it, I'm just wondering, with everything that we've been through this summer with the riots and just the continued fight for ending suppression and oppression, was this album in the making during that, or was this inspired by what we was dealing with during the summer riots? Man,
it's both, man. Yeah, definitely. Some of them songs like Speak Your Mind, I made that during the like while the George Floyd everything was on the news heavily. You know what I'm saying? That was heavily on rotation on my TV. I'm watching that, trying to see what that's talking about, getting on Instagram, seeing everything that people doing and all that. And that's what I know for a fact that's what inspired that song, Speak Your Mind, songs like Angola. You know what I'm saying? Like And so yeah, man. Like I know like one of the song Angola, you know what I'm saying? I started off saying they saying Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Perfect, Black Lives Worth It, and taking bows and going back behind curtains. I said that because we had a protest out here in a city, in a little bit in a city called Goshen. It's not too far from where I'm at, probably about 25 minutes from where I'm at right now. And I didn't go out there to protest. I went out there to see what was going on because I heard that they was doing it. I wanted to go see, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I wasn't happy with what I seen, man. I wasn't happy with what I seen because I'm like, I share the skin with the man that y'all supposed to be protesting about. I share this skin with him, and I see y'all out here, and I see people walking up to the protest laughing, walking up to the protest joking around, walking up to the protest. You know, it's not a protest; it's a social event, and I'm like, that's cornball. So, do you mean what's on that sign? You know what I'm saying? Do you mean what's like that hurt my heart. And I just start putting 2 and 3 together, making it 5, like, oh, because this is performative. This isn't necessarily like this don't hit the same for you. That you I don't know why I don't know why you're here, but change ain't it. Can't be. What's funny? So yeah, a lot of the project was the that spirit was in there. The spirit of, you know, this isn't a joke. I'm not kidding. You know what I mean? I live this all the time. And while I'm here, this is some more stuff that I'm thinking. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I had a similar experience when I went to Atlanta, and one of my friends took me to the Martin Luther King Center, and we were at the King's Church. And you could tell when you were in that church, man, they were a praying family because it was that spirit of God was there. And, you know, it was like a sense of tranquility and me and her were just reflecting like on like his life and stuff and like just seeing the pulpit and everything, you know, and we were interrupted, of course. Bunch of white people and their kids playing around, hitting each other. And I'm like, me and her looked at each other like, okay. Is this what this is about? Socializing loud. And I'm like, man, y'all disrespectful. Y'all very disrespectful. We in the house of the Lord first, number one. This is a man who passed away from civil rights movement. And y'all out here clowning, acting a fool? Really? Is that what we on? So I could relate. I understand. I could really relate to what you were trying to say in this situation. So it's disheartening and it just bothered me like how people say they come in to protest and they come into, you know, to support but it's like you starting to see people by their true colors, a whole different angle from them. And it's like, y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. You're not even sincere with it. So
No. And yeah, I completely feel that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And my whole thing is like, you ain't right now, the point I'm at is you ain't gotta get it, man, but don't disrespect. You know what I'm saying? That and I'm not like that saddened me. Like it didn't anger me, it didn't confuse me, it saddened me, if I'm just being completely transparent with my feelings, because it's like I see you out here, but like I said, what's funny? What is there to play about? A man lost his life, you know. He has children. They lost a daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody lost a brother, somebody lost a cousin, somebody lost an uncle. Somebody lost somebody. Nothing funny. Like if that's your spirit, stay home. But so like yeah, like you know what I mean? Like that was a lot of what the project like there was that, like I said earlier, there was a lot of that spirit in there, just like speaking, not to just speak in my mind, you know, just this is on my mind right now, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So out of all the titles that you could have come up with, why did you name your title $40 for Freedom?
Oh man, like one, to go back to something I said earlier, man, like for the non-woke part, like I thought the name was fire. So I thought the name was fire. I'm like, oh, that's hard. You know what I mean? So I thought the name was fire. And also too, like it's just a couple things in there. It's like I wanted to name it $40 for freedom for people to have their own interpretation about it. And then also like, you know, some of the things that I was thinking about was like what, like, because I learned like some things about my people that I descend from out in Africa and Cameroon. And I learned that a part of them was they were freedom people. Like when the enslavers came and tried to enslave them, they were ones that would fight. And they also historically weren't one of the ones that would sell people like me into slavery. So not only did they fight it, they tried to do their part in stopping it. And but I'm still here. I'm still in America for, you know, whatever reasons for the reasons that I was here and things like that I'm here right now. And so I put myself back in the shoes of, you know, my ancestors who may have who've been walking on this earth from the American perspective. And it's like I named it $40 for freedom, because it's like, what if somebody offered you that? What if somebody offered you your freedom for $40? Would you take it? You know what I'm saying? And what is freedom? And also what does freedom look like you? What does freedom look like to you is what I meant to say, excuse me. And yeah, so that's really, it's just a lot that went into that name. I thought it was fire. I thought it is a good question. I think it's a good conversation starter. It's a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
All right, so let the people know where they can find you on social media if they want to follow you, and where they can listen to that $40 for freedom.
Oh man, beautiful. Shoot. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Dray Taylor. If you want to add me on Facebook, I'm Dray Taylor on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? You listen to $40 for freedom anywhere music being played. You know what I mean? Hopefully the next place is being played is out your phone speaker. I think that would be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm on. And yeah, straight up, that's it.
Again, we truly appreciate you being on the podcast. Love the honesty, love the energy. Like, again, the album is a front to back banger. Like, that's not one skip on this. And it's something that people need to hear. And I can't wait to hear the other 2 albums you got coming this year. Wow.
Hey man, thank you, bro. Like that just made my day. I really appreciate you. Straight up. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to talk to y'all though, man. Thanks for letting me be on y'all podcast. Straight up.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, sir. It's good to meet y'all.
You too.
Same here. I don't think it'll be the last time either. So I think we got more conversations to come after this.
Cool. Just hit me up, man. You already know, man.
All right. This is REA Radio.
All right, y'all.